Breaking news.
Drama! Yes, drama when it comes to Manchester United.
It's all kicking off.
Man United won't break the bank for him. And if Man United won't break the bank for him, they've got other targets.
The future of Kobbie Mainoo at Man United is in jeopardy. Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not be pedantic about who you want to believe. I don't believe that guy. I don't believe this guy. I don't believe... No. All the big reports are saying there is an issue. The manager, by not picking Kobbie Mainoo, is showing us there's an issue. Wake up and smell the coffee. I'm not saying he's definitely going to leave, but this notion that Kobbie Mainoo is not even considering leaving Man United and considering his position in a World Cup year when the guys played in the Euros final and our manager doesn't want to give him a minute over Ugarte, Casemiro, or even Mason Mount, then you have to understand that there's trouble. And according to reports today from The Athletic, which last time I checked is quite credible, from Andy Mitten, which last time I checked was quite credible. Shout out to Alex Crook. He said it from the day or so ago. Kobbie Mainoo is considering his options. Now, his options might be vast or they might be very, very limited, but nonetheless, he's considering. And if we're not careful, this manager is going to drive Kobbie Mainoo out of this club. And maybe you're okay with that. I'm not. I'm certainly not. And I know it's not about one player, but the way he's being sort of overlooked for a system that isn't working to the biggest point is the biggest problem for me. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Kobbie, of course, potentially leaving. Rasmus Hojlund, exit close. Napoli, that looks like it's in the final stages. Antony, we only want a permanent, which is good to hear, but Betis are back in for him as well. So a lot to get through during the show. Big up to each and every single one of you. Straight off the bat, All Elite comes through with the first super chat. Let's get straight to it, and we'll also get straight to the news. But straight off the bat, super chat this early says we should not be selling Kobbie. End of. You line him up to replace Bruno in central midfield this season and allow Bruno to get his money in Saudi after the World Cup. Do you know what? Not a bad look. Not a bad look. Not a bad progression plan, succession plan. However, you have to understand that you're basically telling him just have a year out, like in your development. Just don't play. Like you won't go World Cup and that. Just don't play. Get it all next year, and that's a lot to tell a young player.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Transfer View. We've already got over 600 people watching, and already over 100 likes. If you haven't already, click the like button and be sure to subscribe as we're nearly halfway there to 204,000 subscribers on the road to 250,000. And as Flex said, when it comes to Kobbie Mainoo, I saw a lot of poo-pooing yesterday, Fleck, yeah? Diarrhea settings online, a lot of poo-pooing of Alex Crooks and Ben Jacobs reporting, going, they're just... being taken advantage, being opportunistic of the speculation surrounding Kobbie. That's what it is, driving clicks. And look, sometimes that might be a part of it. That's sometimes what journalism is. But also, journalism sometimes can be finding truth in rumours. And it looks like, indeed, certainly, that this Kobbie Mainoo thing, this Kobbie Mainoo situation, there's real legs to it. So, of course, yesterday, Alex Crook and Ben Jacobs were first to report on TalkSport that Kobbie Mainoo was considering his option. And whilst it didn't look like he was going to leave in the final week of the transfer window, if a big offer came in, he would think about it because, as Flex mentioned, he's looking ahead going, I might not be playing that much this season if Ruben, stays around, which he might. So what do I do? Now, this morning, as part of the Athletics transfer deal sheet, of course, it's Tuesday, which means it's transfer deal sheet day. And they said, indeed, confirming the report, that Kobbie Mainoo is open to leaving Manchester United. Head coach Ruben Amorim seems to prefer other midfielders. Again, actions speak louder than words. And in the first two Premier League matches of this season against Arsenal and Fulham, 0 minutes for Kobbie. And the England international has entered still the final 24 months of his Old Trafford contract as well. Still, no new deal for Kobbie. And there have been a lot of reports about how much he wants, how much he doesn't want, etc. And the issue is where Kobbie goes, as there do not appear to be many options ahead of this market closing. So it's really actually interesting, the wording they're using there, Flex, about Kobbie, because they're effectively sort of saying there, well, this would... Look, he's open to leaving, and if there was a legitimate offer on the table, which as of right now there isn't, because it hasn't felt like he's been available for the last however many weeks, and months of this transfer window. But if there was a legitimate offer on the table right now, then maybe there would actually be quite a lot of movement on this one. And it makes you wonder if this is Kobbie's camp kind of reaching out to the market, going sort of test the resolve, and just let's have a look.
Because if the money's right, if a significant offer, if a significant offer came in for a permanent, like let's say someone bid 60 million for Kobbie Mainoo, like let's just say they did. Let's say Spurs said, I tell you, we keep losing out on all these targets. We got money. Like they just tried to put 70 million in for this other guy. We don't know who he is, from Como or whatever. But I'm just making hypotheticals. Let's say Spurs bid, I don't know, 55 plus 5 or something. You know, with what we're hearing, Man United, if the money's right, we will look at it. And if Kobbie Mainoo has an option to go play for, Thomas Frank, or, like in an affluent team on the up. Listen, my worst nightmare, over my dead body kind of thing. Like, I'm not trying to see that. But I'm not like, Owen's gone. He's gone. He is gone. Is it Owen special? Am I still here? I'm still here. It's an Owen special. That's fine.
I'll be back.
Fine.
I'll be back.
You'll be back. I'll carry on. But yeah, I think if the right type of money comes in, you can't 100% rule out that won't happen. The loan situation is a bit different, because I think Kobbie, if he got the right offer, like imagine Dortmund offered him to go on loan for a year, or I don't know, AC Milan, or just someone decent could go and just play, at least, because he's just going to be more like, I'll take the temporary thing, I'll just go for a year, I'll go play football, try and get in this World Cup top squad, play in the midfield free, reignite something a bit fresh. Don't definitely want to leave United, but I just need to be playing football. I'm 20, I want to get going. I'm actually injury free now. I need to get going, and I ain't going to play under him. So, or even, I know, listen, West Ham might go down, but the other teams in the league, someone like Brighton, say, we'll take him on loan for a year, or you just don't. These things start to happen, but you said people start to try. Now, listen, if you're asking me what do I think's going to happen, I don't think Kobbie Mainoo leaves. I don't think Kobbie on loan, and certainly not permanent. And I think it does have a lot to do with timing. It's the last week of the window as well, and I do think that you have to look at the other side. If you look at how long he's got left on his contract, he's got till 27, and we've got the option for another year as well. So he's got 3 years left, essentially, including the option. That's a hell of a lot of time to, for a young. That is where, when people, and it's big up to James, I know he's very much in this camp, which is like, listen, I know we all want this kid to play, but we're doing kind of way too much right now. There's 3 whole years left on this contract. He's so young. It's so early. And you've been saying that a lot as well. However, although you have been saying that, this has reared up more and has become a legitimate thing, whereby, because he's actually not getting any minutes. So he is sort of looking at it, and now it's been confirmed by the top dons. Like, no, he is actually open to leaving if the conditions were right, if things were met. He's not really going to agitate and angle. I don't think he's that sort of player, especially this early in his career. But that frustration is only going to end one way. And especially when we're not winning football matches, which, all right, cool, it's only 2 games. We'll see with Grimsby. And, then what happens? He's out of match rhythm. Like, listen, he should be looking good against Grimsby, and we should be completely comfortable in the game. But all of a sudden, bit of a stop-start. He doesn't look as amazing as he should. Then Amorim's like, you ain't starting against Burnley. It starts to get very, very messy. Then it starts to get like, I'm not even getting a run to even show myself.
Yeah, it does feel like, it feels like there's something more there, doesn't it? At this point, that's what I will say, because the first 2 games, the fact that he has got 0 minutes, you go, well, that does feel significant. And like you said, it's not like
the way it happened as well.
Yeah, it's not like there's a case of there's a divine right in Kobbie should be getting minutes every single football match, and there shouldn't be a game where he doesn't come off the bench. Yeah, of course, but that first game against Arsenal, all right, yeah, maybe circumstances, dictated, well, maybe not the best option to bring on, maybe, depending on who you talk to. But like at Fulham at the weekend, when it's 1-1 and Kobbie can create something, and Kobbie has scored late goals, that is when we sort of go, well, that feels a bit weird, doesn't it? That he can't get minutes on there. And naturally, people around him, Kobbie himself, they would start looking at the window shut and going, is is that going to be it for me this whole season? Then am I just going to be on the bench all season? Am I going to be getting 0 minutes? Because there's one thing to be a bench player, and then there's another thing to be a bench player that doesn't come on. You know what I mean? You can be
in a team that's got one game a week.
Yeah, you can be a bench player and that, but you know, I'm getting on every game. I'm a sort of I come on and then I've still got an opportunity to get into the team regularly if I come on and I do well.
Exactly.
If I'm a bench player that doesn't get on and I'm just sitting there just to basically make up the numbers, that would be alarming. Yeah. And I think it would only be natural with a week left or less than a week left of the window to be like, just by the way, guys, can we just check to see what's just out there, just in case, because I kind of need to know. And someone mentioned it yesterday. I forget who it was. It was someone writing an article, and they sort of said, well, Kobbie's kind of got 3 options. Really, is one option is everything stays as is. And like Ruben Amorim said, he's competing with Bruno Fernandes with the idea that, well, anyone in this team can compete with Bruno Fernandes, but nobody's going to play over him.
No one's going to win that.
The manager's already said that he's always going to play. So I'm competing with someone that's always going to play and is never going to come off as a sub. So I'm never going to get any minutes. The second option is he basically waits it out and goes, Ruben Amorim might not last, and the next guy comes in will favour me, and I'll get into the team that way. Or the third option, or maybe there's 4. The third option is I leave on a permanent and go, look, Ruben's sticking around for a long time, which means I'm not sticking around. I'm out of here. Or the fourth one is I go out on loan and I just sort of then come back and see where the lay of the land is. And it does feel like all of those options are equally on the table.
Do you know what this looks like? This looks like the Ahmad Ten Hag situation where you got to outlast him. Yeah. You got to outlast him. Where I think I remember reading or seeing, let me know if I've made this up, guys, but I seem to remember reports sort of suggesting that Ahmad was maybe looking at maybe leaving, etc.
Yeah. Because
contract was coming up. That was it. Oh yeah, that was it. He needed a new deal. That was it. He weren't getting any minutes, and it was like, we know how much he loves this club. We was there on tour year before last when he spoke about signing that new deal. He wants to stay here forever. Loves Man United.
Yeah.
But couldn't get a look in. Could not get a look in under Erik Ten Hag. And we literally was like, what is this manager doing? Remember Amari Forson starting against Fulham against him instead of him. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You know, Mazraoui in the 10 in Portugal. Or was it Fenerbahce? Fenerbahce, I think it was. You're actually going to have to leave for your own sake. Because if this manager stays, you are not getting a look in. And this is people may say that's extra. Oh, come on, you're doing too much. This is how I see it. Because this isn't just 2 games. You have to go off what the manager told us about this player last season. What we have to stop doing is forgetting that last season is just not a thing, you know. I keep seeing this thing of oh, come on, it's only 2 games. You know, he just got his signings in. Spare me with that rubbish. Yes, there has to be a bit you have to negate for new signings to get to know each other. Sesko's just coming. I can be sensible enough to do that. But I'm not naive enough to be I'm scrubbing out more games than points. And, you know what I mean? Only 9 wins, 7 wins. How many wins has he got? 7.
7, yeah. And you're
7,
right. It's funny because we did the show yesterday and I pressed the button. I pressed this button so fucking much.
Well, it's Groundhog Day.
But it really is. We go around in circles as a fan base because yesterday I saw the same arguments. That was literally this time last year, which was, oh, come on, it's only 2 games. And you go, it's not 2 games though. And it was the same with Ten Hag last season, wasn't it? 3 games in. We lost against Brighton, lost against Liverpool, and it was, come on, it's only 3 games, isn't it? And you go, but it's not 3 games. He's been here much longer than that. And we have this thing as United fans where for some reason, once a new season starts, we just press the button and go, the manager's only had this amount of games ever. And you go, no, no, that's not true. That's not true. And like you say, it's sort of, I get the idea of a couple games into a season, maybe it's a bit early to panic about the whole season and how the whole season is going to play out. But in terms of the coach, you know, we make up these weird sort of straw arm arguments about a lot of things. It's only 2 games last season. Even now, I guarantee. So, what's the Premier League? Where are we in the league at the moment? Right, the table. We're 16th. We've got 1 point. Hey, Flex, we're only 3 points off top 4.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so what are you
It's something
talking
that
about?
where
Yeah.
it's factually true, and you go, "Yeah, but come on, guys." You know, it's
The truth is, on the pitch, we're not seeing enough improvement. We're not. We're not. And I've been there, and I'm trying to pick out the small parts on tour. Listen, I said it was a positive tour, which is fine. That's still true. It was a positive tour. We did do quite well. We did well against West Ham, well against Bournemouth, 50-50 against Everton, actually, and then rubbish against Fiorentina. So actually, when you look at it, it's like, okay, what did you really see? We've slapped up Bournemouth 4-1, and then look how they performed against Liverpool.
Yeah, if we're back to doing this again as well. They coach more wins than losses, but the players didn't do it. And I'm getting severe Ten Hag PTSD there because
That's not real, though. You can put
I
that back up again.
I
They're
I
not there.
rem-
That's
I
rage baiting.
remember. Remember whether like I said when Dallo missed the goal, open goal against West Ham. Hey, Ten Hag coached a win today. Ten Hag coached a win today.
You can do that. You know when you can say that, Owen? You know when you can say that, Owen?
We're back. We're back.
We're back there.
Back.
Owen, you know when you can say that? I'll tell you when you're allowed to say that, yeah? Is when you win more games than you lose. If you're used to winning, bro, yeah. If you're used to like being the right end of the table, scoring goals, more often than not, you're on front foot, you're a good team. Then there's one result that sticks out like a sore thumb and people just go extra. Then you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, we're scoring. Like if you were Arsenal, Liverpool, normal City, you go, listen, man, fucking Jesus. I've never seen Haaland miss that before. That was ridiculous. Like, I don't know what Marmoush was thinking. That was basically an open goal, which was like the Dallo West Ham. I can't believe Marmoush has missed that. You can say that then. You can't say that when you've got, again, I keep forgetting the stupid shit record because I've heard so many different bad ones. I forget what they actually are. When you got the record of Ruben Amorim, you can't talk about coaching any wins. You can't.
Yeah, you can't. Percentage of Neil Warnock, 7 wins in, was it 24 games or
right? Don't tell me about. So 7 out of 24. So
he coached 24 wins though. Flex coached 24 wins.
Bollocks, man. And that is where toxic positivity.
Hypothetical FC. It's hypothetical. I told you it's hypothetical FC. We would rather live in the reality where we won all those games, and we'll talk about how if this would have happened or that would have happened, we would have won those games. But we will refuse to live in the reality that we didn't win those games. You know what I mean? But we didn't win those games. So, yeah, but if this would have happened, we would have. Yeah, okay. If I was born into generational wealth, I'd be really, really rich man right now. It's not true, but let's live in that reality. Fuck it.
Yeah,
why not?
Just say it is. Just say it is.
Yeah.
Ethan, big up to Ethan, been a member for 6 months. Says free Kobbie. This is becoming absurd now. Big up to Sanji. Says Liverpool chasing a win. Chuck on a 16-year-old attacker. Ruben and United chuck on Ugarte, Maguire, Heaven, and Dallo before Mainoo and Xerxes as well. Great point. Great point.
That was the thing.
Great point. Chiesa came on. What's his name came on? Young Rio came on. Scores the winner. Again, just making changes, positive changes.
Well, not just that, Flex. Yeah, Liverpool. They weren't that good yesterday, and they still won the game. Do you think they're going? People going? Yeah, if. What's the reality? What's the reality?
Hear this one, Owen. Arnie Slot actually coached the loss there. Really, that was 2-0 down.
Yeah,
2-0 up against 10 men. But really, they didn't deserve to win, so he coached the loss. They fucking won.
No, they're not talking about that. They're talking about they won. They won the game. They won. They coached the loss.
And again, this is not the first time, and it will 1,000,000% will not be the last, where Liverpool play like that, but find a way to win. Yeah. Bollocks. Total bollocks. I was lost, mate. Last night. First solo flex along. Maybe I should start calling them flex alongs. First solo one. You guys saw I told Owen everything was set up. I was so happy with myself. No technology was happening. Nothing. This is how I know, that it's a vendetta against me. It's a real life thing from the machine to me. I set up everything, tested everything, and I left United View to go over to Football Flex. Plugged it, everything's fine. Switched the scenes round on OBS. Everything fine. white ring of death just going around. I'm going, well, why is it not adding me to? This is ridiculous. It wasn't doing this before. This is why when I do to Owen and Josh, I go, you spend all this money on, oh, get the latest thing, oh, amazing thing, and you don't. Things should just work, and they don't. So what did I have to do? Restart everything. Then what do you have to do when you restart everything? Get all your logins, log back in again, etc., etc.
I don't know why
and
you're
then Liverpool
supposed
going
to
to
do that, by the way.
I must have to change something. If I restart my computer, I've got to log into my X again, log into YouTube again, log into StreamYard again. Yeah. Did yours not do that?
No, because it'll be really long. You should always shut your computer down and, you know.
Oh, I don't. I just put mine to sleep because of that reason.
No, because it should never be running for ages. It's not good for it.
Well, gonna have to change that as well then.
Yeah.
Also, I got the M4 Fizzy, so I thought it could just handle anything. So just
no.
Well, I put it to sleep. I literally click sleep. But you're saying,
even that,
well, you
like,
fully shut down, at night.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Good advice. That. But I'm not doing it if you have to keep logging in. So I need to find out why that keeps doing that.
Yeah.
So Josh, if you're watching, actually, I know there's a lot of tech bods in the chat. If you
it's good. It sounds like you're not, for some reason you've got something where you're, you know,
when I shut down.
Yeah, but I don't know why that would be the thing.
Someone let me know. In the chat. I need your help because every time I shut my computer down, I have to re-log into everything, and that's just long, as you can imagine. Sanjeet, we've read his show, says fans will blindly follow a coach who just talks and doesn't deliver anything and will let Kobbie go as if he's a problem maker. Kobbie has done more. And Jason says, if Man United sell Kobbie, I think a lot of fans will turn on Amorim, and rightly so. D Witness says, the pendulum swung for me on Sunday. Was at the game, and I really don't like this idea at all. Love Ruben, but I don't know if I believe in him anymore. D was at the game. AKA Barella says, not that sort of fan, but if Kobbie leaves, it's a deal breaker. I think that means. Ethan says, Amorim will be in trouble, even worse than now if Kobbie has to leave. It is unforgivable. Every player deserves a fair chance. Amorim said, that's what's the thing about Kobbie as well. Like it's not like he's done things wrong where he had to get bombed out the squad like Garnacho or Rashford, etc., etc. He's actually not you're saying that he's setting up conditions where there's not a fair chance for him to even get a go.
I think I think the danger is that it's turning into a bit of a, not like in terms of like in the club, but in terms of the fan base, it's turning into one of those player versus coach kind of scenario again.
Exactly. And in this case,
dangerous. That's
but
dangerous.
The problem that we've got is it's dangerous. But when we're losing this much games and there's not much faith in the manager, everyone's going to pick the player. Exactly. Well, we did it under Jose and Pogba, didn't we? We weren't doing well then, and we picked Pogba.
And that was,
but this does feel different.
And that was like, you know, they both weren't on good terms. It would appear that these guys are still on good terms. But you know what I mean? It's turning into one of those situations of like, we're playing well, we're not getting results. And then you feel like there's this person that can maybe help get us results, and he's not getting, like you said, a fair shake of it. A bit like with Ten Hag and Ahmad, where you're losing games, where you go, but just get him on. And when he's, you know,
mate, you're almost better.
It's like the next person, if they came in after Ruben, and you can almost see it. The next person will come in, play Kobbie all the time, and he starts playing really, really well. And you're like,
a 4-3-3.
A bit like when Ruben with Ahmad, when he came in, Ahmad's playing well. Like, Ten Hag, you criminal! You can't believe you're holding this guy back. Like it's always the way. Or Ollie came in, Pogba started playing well, didn't he? Straight away when he was interim manager. So, see, Jose, you couldn't get the best out of like it always works like that.
There's loads of stuff like that. If we change tomorrow to a 4-3-3, you'd have Sesko in the 9. You'd probably put like Cunha left wing. He can play there. He's adaptable and powerful enough. You could sort of say play inside, like how Eze would be a left winger. Like you'd be basically coming inside, but we'll have a system for you where you are a left winger, but you come inside, travel with the ball, etc., cutting in. You'd have Kobbie out of what we got, like Kobbie and Ugarte or Kobbie Casemiro or something more natural. You know, right wing, you'd have Mbumo/Ahmad competing. Right back, obviously, you got to go Dallo. There would be a little bit more squad building that would have to happen because we've changed. But right back immediately, you'd have Dallo. Left back, you'd have Dorgu. And your two centre backs would be, say, Luke Shaw and Yoro, or I don't know, Delict and Yoro and Delict. Sorry, Yoro and Delict, and then you got a lot of them. We got loads of centre backs at the minute. So just off the top of our heads, we can literally easily go into a 4-3-3. 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it. Easy. Aminor says, if Amorim finished 4th, would we ignore last season? Well, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a massive improvement. And to finish fourth, mate, you'd have to have a fucking good season. A lot of good.
Yeah.
You'd have to win a lot of games, score a lot of goals, and look like a good football team to finish fourth. So
we'd have to win significantly more than we've won in the last 9.
Yeah,
Ruben would have
100%.
to win significantly more
It'll be a
than he's won in the
turnaround.
last.
You'd say, see, if that happened, you'd be able to say, see, he is a good manager.
You go fair enough.
From 15th to 4th against who we actually have to go up against, because Spurs are good now. They're going to go on a good run. I'm convinced of that. You know, you see what Newcastle United are on, even with 10 men and no fucking striker. You still can't really roll them over. And Villa, I'm sure, will get a bit better. Amon says, Flex, I'm Amorim doubt, not out. You called me out yesterday. Okay, you're Amorim doubt.
I spoke to KG about that on the weekend during the match view, and
KG was in a bad mood yesterday.
And he did concede that he maybe had misspoke about the whole Amorim out thing. I said,
"Oh, right, okay."
I finally convinced him. Well, not convinced him, but explained to him that if Amorim out basically means if you were in charge, well, you think you shouldn't be in the job basically anymore. And KG was like, well, okay, then I don't think that. I'm Amorim doubt. So he conceded that he was Amorim doubt.
Yeah,
but guess what? But you also those phrases, I hate those phrases.
Yeah,
Amorim out, Amorim doubt. Ten Hag defense league. You Ten Hag in, you Ten Hag out. Ruben Amorim defense league. APA. I hate them.
The only time
I despise them.
Yeah, the only time I speak about literally is like the manager interact with is when I've just seen enough and I've just made up my mind that this can go no further. I've done it with all the set. I've done it with Ollie. I've done it with Eric. I've done it with Jose. Like I wasn't making content during the LVG time, but I would have said the same thing then. I don't do the in out. I don't go. I tell you what, a couple more games, I'm going to be this manager out. I swear to God. Like, I just see. Yeah, because even now I'm not in. I'm just giving you more time to show something. I'm giving you more time to show something, and if you don't, I will hit a point where I will just come on stream one day and I'll go, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough, Jeff. And you will know. I don't like the hokey cokey thing. It's long, and then people press and etc. But so if you bring it up though, you like KG brought it up that day about out and in. So the conversation went that way. But I hate it. I can't stand it. I just want to speak when I've made my final thing. JJ Roden says, if Mainoo goes, that's 3 youth players that will have left this summer. Rashford and Garnacho had issues, but Amorim will still be responsible for driving talent out. When does the board step in? Yeah, good point. Jackie says, is Mainoo a long-term solution in midfield or just better than what we have at present, Flexinode? I think we'd be stupid to move him on. Some people do think that of like how good. That's what I was going to say. Would it be, if you're Amorim and you're stubborn, you just want to prove a point, you could just make him look worse because it means his whole system shit. But just to get the Kobbie thing out of the way, say he played him a few games in the Prem and was still shit, we still concede, still lose or whatever. Then people would be less. They would focus less on Kobbie and just more on him. Of like, well, your whole system's rubbish. No one's good.
Well, just going back to that one before that about I wouldn't put the whole thing of like Amorim's driven out Rashford or Garnacho because there's arguments to be made that they could have and maybe should have gone prior to Amorim. That they were also things that he inherited. So as much as it's easy to be like Amorim's not doing this, that, and the other, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's easy. I don't know if it would be right to be like,
he made all our academy guys leave.
Because Rashford towards the end of Ten Hag,
he was done
after that. Firstly, he was done. Garnacho had issues under Eric Ten Hag as well.
Though.
You know what I mean? Maybe could have been different, but also had issues. Like there's clearly at United, particularly with academy players. There's a bit of a cultural issue there, and a bit of because we've had problems, haven't we? We've had problems, and just within the club, there's a cultural and mentality issue that needs to be fixed, regardless of who's in charge. So the decision to move those players on, I still would stand by and be like, wow, regardless of Amorim or not,
And is mainly the long-term solution in midfield, or just better than what we have? The answer could be both.
And he's still young. The thing is, he's still young, and that would be the concern, isn't it? Of like, would you sell a 20-year-old? There's a lot of what could be there, isn't there? And selling him is quite definitive.
Yeah, and it's too early. It's way too early to write off Kobbie and say we've seen enough. Get out.
He's not going to.
If you're basing that off of what he's done, you should fucking be giving him a new deal because not many players in fucking 8 months do what he did, which is win the FA Cup, score in the final, make your England debut when you're supposed to be in the 21s, go to the Euros, be on the bench because England got and they got loads of midfield problems, Conor Gallagher and Trent playing ahead of you. Then the manager goes, I'll put you in. Then you go on the run all the way to the final and look amazing. Nah. If you're basing it off of what he's done in his short career, if anything, you should be like, I have to see more. There's no way we can I have to see more. I don't want to hear that. So, yeah, big up to you, Jackie. Liam says, we've got the team to play well, but it's the wrong formation. 3-4-3 does not work. And I was hammering him out since the Spurs game last season. That's another thing with Spurs. They've beaten us 4 times, I think. And, you know, if we have to play them anytime soon, let's be honest. Who wants to see that? We get absolutely fucking destroyed.
Here's the thing. And 1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat. Just hypothetical, right? So I know that people turn their nose up at him when he was linked to us. If Thomas Frank had this group of Manchester United players, would he be winning more games than Ruben Amorim?
1,000,000%.
1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat.
1,000,000%, because we wouldn't be playing with 3 centre-backs. We'd be playing how he plays now. For certain games, we'd go 3-5-2, no problem. We'd adapt. 1,000,000,000%. Billion%. Easy. Like, that should just be all ones in the chat.
I'm seeing pretty much the odd 2. There's a couple, but pretty much majority ones.
I think Show's made his feelings clear. I think he's made his feelings clear. All elite, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Anyone putting 2 in this, I actually don't believe you. I think you're just doing it to stand out. You've even typed it out, all elite. I definitely don't believe you, bro. Nah. There's no way you'd believe it any other way. So there you go. Nem Green says, Wagwan boys, birthday weekend done, Carney done. All right, happy birthday to you, bro. You had a good one. Yeah, caught a little wine.
Yeah, I was at Carnival, mate. Yeah, me too.
Carnival.
Yeah. I'd never missed it, mate. Never missed it.
Catch any wines? Catch any wines, Zone?
No, come on. I'm no.
No. No. No, he goes, no. Yeah, enjoy the music and that. Enjoy people.
Yeah. I've been humming it to myself. Yeah, some good stuff to eat. Yeah, good.
You know what we have to do one year? Because even me, I haven't been carnival in years actually. Next year, UV out into carnival, and you'll come.
Yeah,
everyone's. You know.
Okay.
So get ready. Yeah, you'd love it. Get some food, music. Yeah. Don't know about wines. See what's going on. You know. Ruben Amorim needs to fix up now. He's been back, so I expect better results. Got to show he can switch it up when needed. He's got till September, says Nem Green. He's got till September. Well,
5 days. I
mean, and 2 weeks of that is in national break. So
yeah,
Nem Green ain't playing. Basically, he's pretty much done. Or basically, you're giving him Grimsby and Burnley to prove himself, essentially.
But then, to be fair, so am I. Because if he don't win, if it's not 2 wins, he's screwed, isn't he?
If we don't beat Burnley and Grimsby, bro, Grimsby shouldn't even be in the conversation of actually proving it. Like it should. That was, remember when me and KG argued of like, I think he was saying there should be no manager in the dugout. Should be beating Wigan. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was the Wigan one. Yeah,
me and him were arguing.
He was basically like, if we lose that game, it's not on the coach. That's what he was basically saying. He was saying because anyone can beat Wigan. Yeah. Basically, he was like,
two things could be true.
Yeah, he was like, KG was basically saying that he could be on the touchline and coach a win against Wigan with that group of players. So it's not a barometer of how good the coach is. If
you lose it on your watch, you're responsible.
Yeah. Because you're the manager. You're the manager.
Yeah, we were arguing about that. And I dare KG to have that feeling now. Losing against Grimsby League 2, that was on the players. It wouldn't be, because what we've seen is all of the shit where we can't win games and stuff. If it stoops down to you can't beat Grimsby, your system is done, finished. Oh my God, I'm really scared for tomorrow and I should not be. But then again, an embarrassing loss against Grimsby could be it. But it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be, though. It wouldn't. There's not even any talk of the manager getting sacked.
Do you know what it's like? It reminds me, remember last year we played, was it Barnsley? Barnsley in the Carabao Cup, and we won like 7-0. And we were like, see, it's working now because we won 7-0. And rightfully so, people at the time were like, bullshit. It doesn't matter. And it was true, because next round we went out to Newcastle, we were shit. So.
Oh, shit, yeah. Awful. And they didn't have any players. Slapped us, didn't they? 3-0. Jason says, Flex, you've got to get Bradley on more. Big up Bradley. He's going to be on. He is always on. Big up to Bradley. I love Bradley. And Gojira says, not worried about Mainoo. He'll get minutes and a good deal. The bigger issue is goalkeeper, Altai, which we're working on a new goalkeeper. After 15 minutes, Fulham piled on corners and free kicks, exposed his weakness, unsettled the team, and we unravelled. I mean, that definitely did happen. The team actually did a decent job at protecting him because he was just in no man's land. So, yeah. No man's land. Right, let's move on. We'll talk. Right, okay, yeah. Hojlund exits Napoli.
Yes, he is. He's on his way. Looks like seemingly. Fabrizio Romano reporting this morning that Rasmus Hojlund indeed is close to this move. Said that Napoli are confident to get Rasmus Hojlund deal done very soon. Talks at the final stages. It's a loan with a buy option clause to become a mandatory fee as well. So it looks like it's going to be an obligation. Or it might be one that's, certain amount of games or something like that. Yeah. For a fee close to €45 million package, which is around £40 million pounds. About 40 million quid, yeah. It's a contract until June 2030 for Rasmus. He's waiting on exit terms agreement with Manchester United, which again, that's the key bit, that last bit there. The bit about having this contract until June 2030. That's what Sancho didn't have when he did the Chelsea move, because obviously the Chelsea one was done so close to the end of the window. It was this loan obligation. We'll figure it out. He'd never even agreed a contract with Chelsea or anything like that. Difference here, Hojlund's already agreed a deal with Napoli. It's going to be
past the loan?
For what it basically, once that's triggered into obligation to buy.
What does it look like? What's the terms?
Basically, this would be my contract. This would be it. This is so all that stuff has already been sorted. So would look like he is going to become a Napoli player. And despite his best wants to stay a few weeks ago at United, he's going to be leaving. And 40 million quid for Rasmus. I don't know what, I think his book value was close-ish to that. It's probably still a little bit of a loss. But you know what? I'll take it. You know what I mean?
I think I'll
take it. Yeah.
It's fair all round. I actually think landing at Napoli is not bad. In fact, that's very
right,
good.
Isn't he?
That's very good. They're Serie A champions. You know, you've got other young players in there. Scott McTominay's there. Kevin De Bruyne's there now.
Did you see the interview of those two standing together? Kevin De Bruyne doing a post-match interview, standing next to Scott McTominay and a Napoli shirt. Just go, it's bizarre.
It's how football just has a full circle moment, right? You just never thought that would ever happen. I think it's very interesting for him. And actually, under Conte, in a team where that plays, is a dominant team, one of the favourites for the league again, I think you'll do all right. And then you'll get the memes, you'll get the look now, he's reborn and this, that. I don't think you'll get that wrestling Rasmus that just got no confidence. I think you'll see that he actually is a decent player. I mean, like I said, people couldn't wait to see the back of Scott McTominay, McFred, he's rubbish. Gets used in his right position. The man's MVP of the whole of the league, bro. The best player in Serie A. Do you know how mad on the nominee list of Ballon d'Or? You know how mad that is in one season.
Player of the year in the whole league.
That's what I'm saying. In the whole league, bro.
I think who gets player of the season in like the Premier League. We're talking like Salah. You know what I mean?
Haaland and that. Phil Foden's won it. You know what I mean?
Or those kind of Eden Hazard used to win it. We're talking like the top of the top players in Premier League history. And McTominay's won player of the year in Serie A, and deservedly so. Like, he spearheaded them to winning the league.
And then he scored straight away. I saw he scored another header in his first game.
He's got aura now. Have you seen that picture of him laying on the touchline? He's got aura. McTominay aura. Could you believe it?
McTominay aura. So, boy, let's just be real, yeah? There's every chance that Rasmus Hojlund can go there and do well. And I wish him the best. It didn't work out. Wasn't good enough to play for Man United, especially under these circumstances. Didn't kick off. Really, really loved the club. Wanted to stay, but he'll go to Napoli and do all right. And we get a good fee, to be fair, considering how badly it went. But it does show you, don't it? It's gone really badly. But Conte, they're looking at get him for 40 million. We'll have him. Yeah, definitely.
Of course, yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like you say, because they'll use McTominay as the case study, won't they? They'll go, just get him out of the club. Get him out of the club. And they said he's used to Italy. And he's probably in a bit of a vulnerable position in the sense of, he just wants reassurance now. It didn't work out at the club he supports. He didn't want to leave, but he was told he had to, which is, it's a devastating blow for anyone if that happens to you. And it's now, but it's really about him. If you were those close to him, you'd probably say, look, this is now it's what do you want to do with your career? You know, you can either sulk and, you know, and just go, oh, I was screwed over, or I didn't work out, and just go down for the rest of your career. Or you can go, right, fucking prove them wrong. You know, go show them how good you are. You know, go be one of those people that, yeah, it doesn't work out at United. It hasn't worked out for a lot of people at United, but you can still go on and have a very successful career and then have all the people crying that they sold you. So I hope it works out for him. He did get, you know, unfortunate circumstances at United. Don't think he was good enough, but we'll see. Best of luck to him.
Yeah, no, agreed. Likes wise, we have got 399. Let's get that to 500 people.
Get over the line.
This manager. Right. We've got nearly 1,700 people watching. Got about 4 minutes left of the show. So please get up to 500. Let's do it. Antony.
Yes, so Man United are standing firm when it comes to Antony Fleck, because Manchester United are expected to hold firm on only considering a permanent sale rather than another loan for Antony amid a recent renewed push by Real Betis. Obviously, this comes after Pellegrini's comments the other day, how much they badly want him and he wants the move. Pay up then. You know the price.
Pay the money.
You know the price, so pay up. But whether or not they do that, this still feels very loanish to me. I can't lie, but
loan obligation. You need permanent stuff, man. Yeah. I don't know if Betis do really want him, though, man. I just should be. Maybe we might have to accept less, but I think they might accept less just to make sure it's not longing it out, another loan with this. And I think we'll get permanent. I just don't think it will be as much as maybe we thought. If we could get 25 million pounds for him, like 30 million euros, that'd be perfect. But it might have to be like 20 million euros or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing as well. Like, let's say we do get, we said permanent, and we do get a bit of money with this, Garnacho, etc., etc. I do wonder with this pressure, like on Ruben, if those are Ineos, not sort of when Ruben's in the room, but they do have that conversation of, how much do we want to spend right now? Should we sort of wait till January? Should we just wait and see how things play out here? You know what I mean? Or are they buying players not for Ruben but for the team?
This is what I've been saying the whole time. Like we can't push back on this now out of both sides of my mouth. I have been saying this is why we just have to buy good players. I don't care about Ruben.
Yeah.
About what he
not buying players for him. They're buying for the club.
Yeah, and that's what we have got with Lenny Yoro, with De Ligt, with Ahmad. Well, he didn't buy him.
With Mbeumo,
with Cunha. Sesko's a 9. A 9 is a 9. You know what I mean? So, I think even if Ruben got sacked tomorrow, our squad's still in a better position than it was, which is why we're beginning to get a bit more frustrated, because actually we've got some really good signings this summer. The 3 signings we've made are very good. They seem it anyway.
New keeper,
new keeper as well, and you can tell that there's a. I don't care what anyone says. You can tell that there's an issue there, because Bayern is playing back-to-back games, which has never happened. Yeah. Onana can't get in, which is never. It's like they've used that injury, like a layoff. Like, it's been a while. May as well do it now. And we're looking for a new goalkeeper, so one of them's got to leave. So in that goalkeeping department, it's fucked. You know what I mean? They need a new number 1. So we'll see. We shall see. Right, there you go, people. Have I read everybody's? Yes, I have. We've got to the end of the show. Big up to each and every single one of you. Of course, Flexing KG show later on. Me and KG got a lot to talk about. He was in a bad mood yesterday. Like I was just done with the
I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw a little bit, and I different points I saw this.
Yeah, he's just, when he's just in that massive sulk where he's just so done with this team. So we got a real big therapy session, big Flexing KG show tonight, because we got some big stuff to talk about, both of us included. We really have to get into it. So, smash the like, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are out of here. Subscribe to the Football Flex. Subscribe to Owen Wrestle News 36555 and KG Reckless Sports, and everybody else's links in the video description below. Members Club over there as well. Go and get involved. Take care. We're out of here. Peace.